Hello, fellow human. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and let's enjoy ourselves with some r/slash I don't work here lady stories. To the first one. Mother-in-law's friend thought I was a crazy waitress. My husband, boyfriend at the time of the story, and I had our first date at a hot pot restaurant in downtown Boston. Flash forward a couple of years, my mother-in-law loves this restaurant, and when they would visit us in town, we would go. One night, they invited a close friend of theirs and her fiancé to join us. We'll call her Kay. They all get to the restaurant first, and then my boyfriend and I join. We didn't do introductions since I had met them a few times at family events. Since Kay and her fiancé had never had hot pot, I was more than happy to show them how to order, how to cook, and eat their meal. Everyone had a blast. We were laughing and joking and drinking scorpion balls. The meal seemed to go fine, and after my in-laws pay and get their car pulled around, they offer us a ride home. Our apartment is walking distance, but it was dinner, so we accepted. As I get into the car, Kay stares at me like I'm a crazy person. She says loudly, "Why is the waitress coming home with us?" We all look at her like she's the crazy one. My mother-in-law says, "Kay, this is his girlfriend. They have been living together for 3 years. You've met her before." Kay is flabbergasted and a bit embarrassed. Apparently, she thought I was a very enthusiastic waitress. I'm Asian, so hence the confusion. Who had pretty much invited herself to dinner and drinks and was just getting into some random customers' cars. We all had a good laugh and chalked it up to the fact that they had been to a bar prior to dinner and she may have had a few more drinks than everyone else. She's a very sweet woman and we have had a great relationship, but it's a fun story to bring up when we see her. For those asking, the restaurant is called Shabu Shabu and this was about 8 years ago. We have been married 6 years and have a 2-year-old, so this was a fun memory to revisit. I have not been to Q as I haven't lived in Boston in almost 6 years. I gotta say that she must be so very polite. She said nothing the whole way through the dinner. Gotta give her that. On to the second story. Woman irate that multiple kinds of pretzels exist in different places calls manager on me. I just found this subreddit yesterday after being directed to it. After I posted an etiquette question in 2 other places about what to say when being mistaken for a store employee. The big difference I see in most posts is that I'm a DSD vendor/pull-up, which is a person who stocked something in the store for a specific brand but isn't an employee by the store and typically has multiple stores to visit and typically a distinctly different uniform, if any uniform at all. I get easily 5 to 10 of these incidents per day and have easily a dozen stories of this nature that are real special, so I will pick possibly my favorite. One of my route stops is a WM, which I also shop at, so I know where things are generally. This already irate lady storms over to me, clearly not noticing that my clothes do not match an employee's and only seeing that I'm putting things on the shelf. She demands that I tell her where their pretzels are because no one else will help her. Well, I don't work here, but I do shop here, and I know there are several places for them. What kind are you looking for? Just tell me where the pretzels are. Is that not clear enough? Do you want the plain ones? Do you want the chocolate covered ones? Do you want flavored? The McDonald's up front sells the big doughy pretzels. Just tell me where the pretzels are. Well, the chocolate covered ones are over by the candy on the other side of the store that way. Over that way? The customer service here is hideous. Except that I don't work here, so your experience with me doesn't count. She storms off. Sometime later, she comes back with a manager, pointing at me for not helping her. Manager looks at me, looks at the lady, looks at me, and looks at the lady. Manager, well, he doesn't work for us, ma'am. People who work here wear blue vests. What is it you were wanting to find? Just tell me where the pretzels are. Manager, well, we have multiple places. Do you want the hot and fluffy kind, chocolate covered, the plain salted kind? She finally just leaves the store. The manager and I both just shrug and resume regular tasks. Well, her brain must have exploded after two people working for two different companies gave the same answer to her. Well played! On to the third story. I'm not a paramedic though. This happened today while I was at work, and I decided to create an account to let you guys know about it. I'm a cop and was mistaken for a paramedic. I have basic first aid and have a defib in my cruiser, but that's it. Often, cops and paramedics get called to the same call even if technically it's purely medical and there's nothing job specific for me to do that the paramedics can't do. Often, I'll hang out for a little while longer after it's been determined I'm not really needed just in case the paramedics change their mind due to the patient getting violent or something. Of note, we have similar uniforms, but I have a red stripe down my pants, carry a gun, and have the word police in huge letters on my back and the front of my vest, while paramedics have paramedic written on them. If you're literate and know paramedics don't carry guns, you can tell the difference. Also, if a cop tells you that they are not paramedic, that should be a strong hint too. Today, I was on a scene when a kid started having some sort of medical emergency where he couldn't breathe properly. Paramedics show up lights and sirens and get him into the back of their ambulance. They left the lights on as they're blocking a lane. Once they get the kid in the ambulance, I'm standing outside waiting for them to head off. My cruiser was parked a couple of meters from where I was standing as well. A lady comes up to us and goes, "You need to turn off those lights." And I reply with, "Well, they aren't my lights, they are paramedics, and they're a little busy right now, probably saving a life." Lady replies with, "Those lights can cause a seizure. How dare you put people in danger like that? That is so irresponsible." Well, I'm not a paramedic, I'm a cop, so they're not mine. I gestured to my vest which says in huge white letters on navy blue, "Police." I looked around. The kid's family was standing at the other side of the ambulance and were basically the only other people there. A few people are in the area were paying no mind to us at all, and this lady herself was definitely not having a seizure in my non-medically professional medical opinion. Look, the lights are on for a reason. It's for driver safety to alert drivers that there's an ambulance in the middle of the road. You aren't having a seizure and neither is anyone else, so if you don't mind, please move along. I hate crowding at scenes. Some of this kid's family was close by and they did not need some random strangers causing a commotion and adding more stress to an already stressful situation. "I cannot believe how rude you are," she yells back. "I'm going to complain to your boss." Oh, you can definitely tell my boss that I didn't turn off ambulance lights. My badge number is XXX. If the lights are pissing you off so much, you're welcome to leave. You're in a public area, free for people to come and go in. Unbelievable! She stomped off after that, which was good. I haven't yet received that complaint, probably because I'm not a paramedic. So, let me get this straight. Someone is obviously having a medical emergency because of the ambulance and stuff, and this woman is worried about the lights? What? On to the fourth story. How is a floor-length sundress a grocery store uniform? Hubby dropped me at a local PC grocery store and went to run his errands. I'm wearing a gray sundress and a gray mask. I'm short, so ankle length is floor length. My hair is purple, and my shoulder tat is very visible. Store uniform is a black polo, and jeans or trousers. This was just yesterday. Cast, me equals to me, SH equals to shopper. I'm prepared with a list, have my cell phone handy in case hubby texts. I enter the store, grab a card, a couple of squirts of sanitizers to clean my hand, and the card handle, and I'm off. I try to be systematic, so start with non-perishables, then produce, then meat/dairy, then frozen. This is, in theory, a logical method of loading the cart. Following the arrows, and attempting to respect the 6 feet rule, I notice a staff restocking a section I need to get to. I stop and make eye contact. She offers to move and I tell the staffer to keep going. I can wait for her. This was a mistake. For one, shopper is behind me. She starts telling me to make the staffer move. Me, well, I'd rather let her finish her job. I can wait. Shopper, well, I can't. Can't you evaluate her later? Tell her to move so I can get in there. Me, I'm not evaluating her. I'm a shopper, just like you. Shopper,
Yeah, you're a mystery shopper, I know. I used to do that years ago. Just make her move.
Me. Seriously, I'm just shopping. If you want her to move so badly, instead of giving her another minute or two, then you can politely ask her to let you have access to that display.
Shopper, look, you're in uniform, you obviously work here. Now, do your job.
Me. Okay, you got me. I do work for corporate. I'm here to assess how badly the customers are treating the staff. We have had reports of customers being unreasonable, rude, and verbally abusive, and in some cases, physically abusive towards the staff. I'm here to see if I can find these people so we can find them banned from our chain. The shopper left, staff finished stocking and thanked me. I finished my shopping and let hubby know that I was ready to be picked up. Sorry, there's no major drama, but seriously though, a maxi sundress and a mask that just happen to match does not make a uniform. What is wrong with this Karen, man? I've never seen a district manager walk around in a sundress in my life. On to the fifth story. Noses are crunchy. I was working toys for Tots in the DC area, which is a program the Marine Corps run every year to gather toys/gifts and distribute them to kids whose Christmas tree would likely to disappoint Charlie Brown. Sexist or no, they seem to pick those of us who have the Marine look in the casting sense. Tall, masculine, etc., or on the lady side, that peculiar blend of a "I'll kick your butt" with one hand while doing my eyeliner with the other. It's as much marketing as anything, especially in the DMV. Point being, we're a bunch of tall, very fit yucks out there in dress blues, smiling and coaxing toys out of people who could have probably saved Toys R Us with petty stock earnings. We look nothing like waitstaff. Myself, 6'1", 210 pounds, and another SNCO, 5'4", probably around like 135 pounds, were assigned to the event at the Smithsonian. Somehow, the Corps had managed to get a display and a few donation bins put up at a black tie, invitation-only shindig surrounding the display of the Hope Diamond and a bunch of other large hunks of carbon. Personally, I don't understand the obsession with it. It's a large, shiny rock, no one is wearing it, it serves no scientific purpose, and it just sits there. So you can look at it, or something. I feel more satisfaction looking at an exceptionally big turd the night after Taco Tuesday. At least I made it myself, often with significant effort and no small amount of regret/self-loathing to provide fuel for the push. Anyway, we are smiling our pearly whites while the various movers and doers shake our hand, toys on the display, posing for the cameras so their constituents, stockholders, etc. can see how kind-hearted they are. The sick thing is how many don't even donate. They just get a photo in front of the pile of toys, sans the generosity. Pretty much par for the course. The initial wave of donation passes as the event gets down to business, drinks are passed out, and they start in with the hors d'oeuvres. We're standing there, surreptitiously munching and trying not to get those godforsaken white gloves dirty, when this lady, who is best described as a chubby mixed-race female Steve Buscemi, comes toddling up in a dress/waistcoat thing that looked like it was screaming for mercy from the Button Fairy. Fat Steve, FS.
Hey you two, I'm dry here. Let's get snappy with our refill.
Something like that. We didn't realize she was talking to us, so I only half paid attention. FS, after a second of us not replying.
Hey, I know you can hear me. Get your butts in gears. Flirting time is over.
At this point, we realized she meant us. I look over at Pocket, my fellow Marine's nickname. We'll call her P. She looks at me, we look at the lady, it took a second. Okay, I finally speak. Me, can I help you, ma'am?
FS, about the goddamn time. I need a refill, and while you're at it, get me some of those
some random munchy thing.
They stopped bringing them out a few minutes ago. You guys really should.
P, ma'am, I'm sorry, but we don't work here. We're just here with the toys of...
FS, I don't give a good goddamn what you think. Get your butt in gear or I'll have your job. I'll not be talked at by someone like you.
FS proceeds to toss her empty-ish glass at P, who gets some leftover drips on her blues but catches it out of reflex. I can see the thunderclouds gathering. A stain like that likely means she's likely looking at a new blues coat, which runs a few $100s, probably a new ribbon setup too. Pocket is a Puerto Rican and has the temper to match, so I tried to head the lady off. Me, ma'am, we're not the wait staff, we're just...
FS, I don't want to hear your excuses. Do you know who my husband is?
FS proceeded to put her finger right under my nose and continued the tirade. Apparently, hubby was a Southern senator, main booster / campaign funder, so said Google, and would see to it I'd be slipping under newspaper, etc. After about 10 odd seconds of this, we're starting to draw stairs and some of the staff were starting to head on our way. However much I wanted to put this tramp in a compliance hold, I could pretty much well visualize the CNN article if a male Marine lays hand on a woman in front of all these people, especially a political connected one. I was sort of at a loss. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to make that choice. Pocket made it for me. P. Ma'am, you need to calm down. Please take your glass and... She held out FS glass to her as she said this. FS immediately switches her wrath from me to Pocket and slaps the glass out of Pocket's hands. I could see P's control wavering, but theirs wasn't anything for it. FS bore it right in. The critical mistake was to start jabbing Pocket with her finger right in the chest with each word.
FS, you shut your spick mouth.
I cringed visibly at that second to last word because, yeah, I knew exactly what was about to happen, and it did. It's called Yude Gatamen Judo, basically a standing arm lock, and Pocket was a 2-tap black belt. Pocket snatched her arm up, locked her out, and slammed her face straight into the wall next to us. Blood, broken nose, drywall dust, the whole bit. P didn't even say anything, just that green teeth smile that says, I'ma screw you up so hard your grandkids will be born with my handprints on their soul. It was ducking awesome, and a little hot to be honest. I, being the senior Marine and somewhat cooler temperament, carefully pulled P back. I dare say it was akin to handling a small but very dangerous animal. FS kind of slides to the door, actually much quieter now that she's trying to aspirate a mixture of blood and gypsum. Security finally showed up to help, which resulted in them hauling FS away and taking us to a separate room where we gave our version of things. Security recordings were reviewed, of which there were many, what with the fancy rocks everywhere and so on. Pocket wanted to press assault charges, but oddly enough, no DC police became involved. I'm assuming politics at play there. I called the head shed to let them know what happened. They sent a van to pick us / the toys up. Funny enough, it never seemed to make it to the news. I think that, more than anything, saved Pocket's butt. Upon coming back to the main event area to load the toys and take down the display, we were given a wide berth by many upper crusties. I feel compelled to mention the notable exception, this one old lady, who came up and asked if she could give Pocket a hug of all things. Just kinda gave her the grandma style hug, patted on her back and took her hands. You know, in my younger years, I could have stomped that will flat. Wonderfully done, dear. And then wandered off to rejoin the party. It was adorable. Well, Pocket is now my new lady crush. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.